Hi everyone, I'm Kali. I've been uploading to this gaming channel for a little over a year now, and I feel like I've learned a lot. So today I want to talk a little bit about what advice I would give someone who would want to start a gaming channel now. And I also sort of want to look back on this video myself and just see what was my mentality, what was I thinking just 1 year into my own journey. So it's a little bit of a journal too, I guess. Before diving a little bit deeper into that, I just want to talk a little bit about the gaming category in general, because it was difficult in the beginning to try to find a teacher that was actually talking about gaming. Gaming category in itself is just very, very broad. If you've ever looked at the categories that's available on YouTube, you have like how-tos, educational, lifestyle, entertainment. I can't think of any other. But when it comes to gaming, it's usually a combination of several categories. So it can be gaming, like in my case, gaming commentary and let's play. That's pure entertainment. But you also have gaming educational, and even that can be divided into several, like gaming educational towards beginners, towards professionals. We have storytelling, we have challenges, we have just gaming in general is such a massively broad category that it was difficult to find someone whose advice I could just be like, yes, straight in here, give it to me, you know? It's difficult when it comes to particularly gaming, and I'm sure that any other category I would deep dive into would say the same thing, but it was just difficult to find advice that would suit gaming. But the advices that I was following in the very beginning, before I even really started or started getting solid ground under my feet, was 10 videos. What I meant about that was that it will take at least 10 videos before getting any sort of traction. That was a very good advice. I still believe in this advice, but not in the sense that they were talking about it. They were saying that think about 10 videos before you start getting traction, before you start getting attention, before you start getting views and stuff like that. But no, when it comes to, in this particular case, I would say 10 videos for yourself to learn how to edit, to learn how to do the thumbnails, to learn a little bit about what happens after you upload, how do you put up subtitles, what's end screen, what's, 10 videos for your learning curve. I feel like that was a good mentality to keep, and that's something I would still advise people today, but not for the same reasons that most people do. Another one that I followed was 1% better with each upload, and at face value that is such a good advice. I will talk a little bit about it later, why I don't necessarily think it's a good advice anymore, but that's one that I followed in the beginning anyway. Learn the analytics. Learn the analytics. Also a bad advice, but that's one that I followed in the beginning and that almost killed me. So I will talk a little bit about why I consider that to be a really bad advice, but that was one that I followed in the beginning. I also followed the advice to watch others, which is, that's one of those advices that will make you really, really bitter really, really fast, unless you know how to do it. So I'll talk a little bit about that as well. One that I took with me about 4 or 5 months into the journey was the hidden SEO. SEO doesn't really matter all that much anymore. It's better now with YouTube just like analyzing your videos in your description and stuff like that, so it's better now. But I always name my video file the same title, and I will try to add the search terms into the description. So for example, if it's the first time playing it or first reaction or stuff like that, I will try to bake that into the description. But that took me a couple of months, but still I'd consider that to be like my starter advice. Some of the advice that I absolutely hated in the beginning, and I mean I still do, was to copy others. Copy their video, copy their thumbnail, copy their idea, just put your own twist to it. I still hate this advice because that's a sure way to burn out fast. And I mean fast. That's trend hunting. And if you want to do this, if this is what you want to do, Earning a quick buck this is not it. You're in the wrong space, honey. No, go away. You need to go somewhere else. This is the long game, the long run. This is slowly building your character with 1 skill point for each month. So I'm like at 14, 15 skill points. Oh, this one. Just start. I hated this one because just start applies to people who have already started, who already have channels before. So the just start just didn't make sense to me with everything else going on. I still wanted to learn more, and especially if you're aiming to go into some sort of category that's like educational, just start? What are you talking about, hun? Stop. You know? No, that didn't make sense to me. And another one that I didn't like was that you have to have a webcam. If you have watched any of my videos, you know that most of my videos I do not have a webcam. It's because I have a life outside of this. I have a full-time job, family, and other obligations. So if I would have my cam on all the time, you'd see my kid run around in the background, for example, or my husband going to grab a drink of water or whatever. So no, I'm sitting in my pajamas gaming. I want to continue doing that, so I can't always have the camera on. Sometimes I have it on during the intros because my intro still sort of sucks. So that would be maybe a suggestion, but webcam is not necessarily a must. It was something I hated in the beginning to hear. Because that was mentally blocking me from even beginning. So I removed that and then I started. So I want to talk a little bit about the progression that I've had through the year. And guys, it takes time. Pretty early on, I started playing Outer Wilds, and that was a success story for me. That went really well. I got a lot of views and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. YouTube's easy. Oh my God. And the closer I got towards the end of Outer Wilds, I started to realize that people were there for the game, not for me, not for my stupid commentary or the way I played. They just wanted to see the game. So when Outer Wilds ended, the views dwindled. And I got really, really sad. And to the point that I almost was considering quitting, because you're on that high, you know, and then it just drops down and you're like, didn't really know what you did wrong because that was so early on. That was so early on in my journey that I sort of took it for granted, and I had a lot of conversations with my husband that reminded me of, why are you doing it then? If you're just looking at the numbers that you can't really control, why are you doing it? Are you having fun? Are you still having fun? And that's when I started to realize a trend, even amongst other channels that I was looking at. Channels that was burning bright burned fast and dwindled. And I didn't want that. I wanted the slow and steady. I realized that I want to do this for the long run. I don't want to have a burst of subscribers and then they never watch my content again. I wanted the slow and steady. And during this time, when I was looking at other channels, I noticed that I was feeling jealous. Why are they more successful than me? Oh, it's because they're in USA. Oh, it's because they're also streaming on Twitch. They are younger and they're still living at home, or they can put full time into this, or, you know, and I was being jealous. And through this year, that have transformed into a completely different mentality. Whenever I find someone that I'm like, wow, they're doing well, wow, their numbers are high, wow, they're doing good. What are they doing good? What can I learn? What can I take with me? So this watch others advice is a good advice if you're applying it correctly, because it's very easy to get jealous. And jealousy is like a prison. You're not going to progress. You're not going to become better yourself if you keep getting jealous. Does that make sense? So I started looking at others and I started to add them as my competitor, but because they were doing something right, something that I wanted to learn from. So that's a very important progression through the year for me. The value of consistency. A lot of advice have been upload every day. Doesn't matter, just upload. I upload twice a week. The episodes are about 1 to 2 hours long. So yeah, sure, I could chop them down to 20 minutes episode and I could upload every day. But no, I don't do that. 1 to 2 hours episodes. I've realized that where I'm going and what I'm doing is more of like a second screen entertainment channel. So if you're turning on a 20-minute video, you're gonna be pretty like, what was that? And you have to click on the next one. Now I'm doing like 1 to 2 hours, so you just start the video and then you can like sort of zone out. And I can just entertain you on the second screen. I'm just your friend in the room, you know. The consistency, yes, that's important, but not the everyday upload. No, don't follow that advice. That's gonna burn you out really fast. All right, so what did I use to feel was really important? Views, subscribers, the visual progression. Oh my god, that was so important. It was also so important to try to find the next big game, and I was looking at Google Trends and I was trying to keep up and I wanted to have like the perfect thumbnail, the perfect description, the perfect everything. Everything needed to be perfect. That was most important. So what do I consider to be the most important things for me today? Number 1, my mental health. I'm having fun, okay? I'm not earning anything on this channel yet. But I'm not stressing over numbers anymore. Learning analytics is a horrible advice for someone starting out, because learning what? From what? Based on what? When you're small, and even like me now a year after, I can't learn much from my analytics, because this click-through rate, for example, so if YouTube is showing your video to 100 people and 10 of them clicks, it's a 10% click-through rate. But so if YouTube decides to just show my video to 100 people and 100 people click it, I'm like, oh my god, that was a perfect packaging. I will take that and apply it to every video. 100 people is actually not that many. Just because they clicked it doesn't mean that that was the perfect packaging. And sometimes YouTube is recommending your video to like 10,000 people, 100,000 people. Well, not really. Mine is more like towards a 10 if I'm lucky. And let's say that just one person clicked it because they were pushing it towards people who wants to see, I don't know, lawnmowers. You know, you can't really learn much from that when the volume is so small, which is going to be in the beginning. So sitting and looking at that one person that watched your video and they dropped off after 10-15 minutes, that doesn't really tell you anything. Maybe they just had 10-15 minutes on a coffee break and they just started a video. Maybe they forget about it. Maybe they'll come back. You don't know. So staring at analytics for your peace of mind, don't do that. So my mental health, that's my most important thing. I want to have fun when I'm doing it. I'm not earning any money on it, so I'm still just having fun. I'll still have fun even if I earn money. I want to earn money, okay? Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Number 2, and this might even be more important than my number 1, or at least it plays a huge part of number 1, is my core audience. Even just one person from my core audience is worth 1 million subscribers. That one person that just keeps coming back, keeps watching the videos, keeps leaving comments, likes and shares the video, even lurkers, I mean, they are more valuable than someone who just watched one of your shorts and just like, haha, high five, you did a good job, I'm gonna subscribe to you, and never watch a single one of your videos. That can actually hurt your channel. But the core audience, the people that resonates with you, that wants to watch you for you, those are the pieces of gold that you want to keep around, and they are way more valuable. Returning viewers and your core audience, way more valuable than all the other subscribers that you have. So that just if you take one thing from this video, it's gonna be that core audience, chef's kiss. That's what you want to keep around. My third one is more like a goal, and it's to find my niche. I sort of know where my niche is now, and it's not because I figured it out myself before I started. It's because my audience have been commenting that they like my voice, they like my sense of humor, and I realized that I'm, like I said, second screen entertainment. I don't aim to be huge, I aim to have fun, I aim to vibe with my audience, and yeah, so I want to keep on striving on that path. Where's my niche? Who's my audience persona? Who am I talking with? Who is listening to all my words? You poor bastards, you have to listen to me read when I'm playing games. I feel sorry for you, I can't pronounce a lot of words. But here we are. So, things I would tell myself if I would start now or consider starting now is just do it. I know I said that's a horrible advice before, but honestly, actually, yes. You learn more by doing than thinking. And to just start with those first 10 videos, you're going to learn so much. But just keep in mind that it takes time. Between 6 months to 2 years, you're building a business. That's basically what you're doing. Unless you're really lucky, like, you know, I don't know, Markiplier, and just things just sort of rolls. I can't say that he's lucky either. He's working really hard, but you know what I mean. Like, some people just have this persona or this energy, and they're just speaking to the correct people like instantly, and you're not gonna be that person. Sorry, you're not. It's going to take between 6 months and 2 years before getting any sort of traction. That's fine. You will suck, and that's okay. That's one. I know a lot of people say that, but if I would listen to anyone, I'd listen to myself. I hope. You're going to suck, and that's fine. It's actually kind of funny to look back on your old videos after to see just how far you've come. So you're gonna suck, and it's gonna be fun to look back at, okay? Numbers mean nothing. The core audience means everything. Really hammer that one in. So just some practical thoughts if you're considering starting a YouTube gaming channel. The advice 1% better, like I said, that was a really bad advice simply because when you're just starting out, you don't know where you're supposed to strive, where are you going, what's your end goal, all of those things. So consider the 1% better advice to be, it's including your own self-improvement. Getting better at editing, better thumbnails, better description, practice stage presence, educate yourself in something, you know? See what others are doing, what's working for them, what can you learn? 1% better does not always have to show up on screen in better, more fleshy editing. It can simply be what you're doing in the background. What are you putting into this journey? What's your investment in yourself? That's 1% better. That's included in this advice. Not just videos are better or more expensive or the production value is higher and you have a better No. 1% better also means here. Okay? Gaming niches like challenges and education does way better than Let's Play commentary. It's simply because if you're planning a video that you have more control of the outcome. And I'm not saying that you have complete control, but you have more control over the outcome than if you're having a Let's Play video. A Let's Play video just sort of follows the stream of the game, right? Educational one or a challenges one or storytelling one, you have full control over the narrative. So they tend to do better, but they also demand more of you. So, I mean, unless you have like a super awesome personality, don't do comment. Sorry. Audio is way more important than video. I started out with the Blue Yeti. It's a good microphone. You don't have to go for anything more expensive than that in the beginning. If you have a fairly quiet room, then go for that. Don't overdo it, but audio is more important than video. When it comes to software, I'm using Photoshop and I'm using Premiere Pro. And I understand you don't want to pump in money like right in the beginning. There's a lot of free options, like I know Canva is, everybody suggests that. I don't understand Canva. I can't wrap my head around it, but Photoshop. I'm using OBS. I would really recommend OBS. There's a lot of really good videos on how to set up the filters for your microphone and stuff on YouTube. It makes really like small file sizes, which I appreciate compared to, for example, Shadowplay and other recording programs. A really funny thing I like to do is to go into other gaming channels that's similar to mine, maybe like up to 3K subscribers or something like that. And I'm looking at their oldest video and their newest video, and I'm just seeing like, what's their progression? What did they do? What are they doing well? What can I learn? What can I pick up from this? If I see a video and I'm like, wow, that person is charming, they have a 10-minute intro, but I stuck through that entire thing, then obviously I can learn something from that. So I would say a practical advice to do is to look at all these other gaming channels, even leaving positive comments, because you never know who's going to see that nice comment and maybe they'll come back to your channel and you get more exposure. So just being nice is actually a really good thing. But you can learn a lot from other gaming channels. What are they doing well? What can you learn? What can you take with you? What can you put into your arsenal and add to your skill points? You know, like, it goes far. Long form versus shorts. So I'm considering long form to be my audience base building blocks, and my short form is just for my own ego. Because shorts can get a lot of views, but they rarely get core audience members. I also want to touch a little bit on external factors and this I deserve it mentality. So I am far from successful, but I still had some advantages that I would want to touch upon, that people would say that that's just luck. Because yes, luck is a factor, that's going to be it, like the right person saw your video and so on. But so for example, I like my voice and people seem to like my voice, and that's lucky because I also don't want to run with webcam. So if I would have no webcam and I have a really annoying voice, like people wouldn't want to watch me. So yeah, I would consider that to be a huge advantage for me. People seem to enjoy my dumb sense of humor, and that's lucky because I can't change it. It's stuck. It's grained within my soul. So that's lucky. Gender can matter. Absolutely. If you're watching this, I'm sure you're actually thinking that. And there is positives and negatives about being a woman in a gaming space. If I would go into more competitive gaming, I think I would sense more of the toxicity, but that's also a competitive space, you know. I haven't really experienced a lot of negative comments yet. I've had like 2, you know. And even then I was just like, what are they trying to teach me? I'm sure it's something that some sort of value I can take from this, you know? But being a guy, obviously, I haven't experienced that, but there's more men in the gaming category than women, I think. And men put up with a lot of fucking shit that I can't imagine. So there's going to be certain advantages on your gender and what category within gaming you're going into. Before going in, I already knew how to basic edit videos and I knew how to do a thumbnail. Well, you know, I knew Photoshop. I still don't know how to do a good thumbnail. But yeah, I had that, so my learning curve wasn't as steep as it will be for a lot of people going into YouTube in general. So certain factors will always matter. But stay away from this mentality that I deserve riches and fame, because trust me, that's only going to make you bitter. You're gonna look at someone and you're gonna find excuses why they are successful or why they're doing well, completely ignoring the entire long journey they had. Maybe this is the 5th channel that they're starting. You don't know. So for your own sake, try to drop that mentality and see what you can learn from others, not what you feel like you deserve. So to wrap it all up, 1% better includes improving yourself. So educating yourself or learning something new or all the backstage stuff that needs to happen, that's also included in the 1% better. It doesn't always show up on the screen, but it will show up with you. Not every day is a good day, but consistency is key. So consistency does not mean upload every day. It means upload to the capacity that you can uphold. So for me, in my case, 2 times a week, maybe 3 times if I have a lot of time. Usually don't. But so twice a week for me is a good consistency. Play on your strength and don't copy others. So for me, in my case, I have a nice voice. I have a dumb sense of humor and a good second screen entertainment. And I'm fine with that. Long form videos, short form videos are 2 completely different worlds and you should treat them differently. And if you don't, you're gonna be like me, then the long form is going to be your core audience building and your short form is going to be for your own ego. Don't go into this if you're expecting to earn a lot of money really fast. That's not going to happen. I'm still not earning any. Like I said, I'm not really a big channel, but I did this video partially for my own sake, to just remind myself that to be nice with yourself. You're doing it because it's funny, keep doing it. If you're doing it to earn money, don't do it. Go into some other category. I really hope that this video brought something of value to you. I know it's very difficult in the beginning to look around at all of these suggestions and advices and everything and just take it and be like, this doesn't fit me or this fits me perfectly, and then to see the numbers go up and down, and it's emotional roller coaster. Some days are really horrible, some days are really good. So take a moment, look at really big gaming YouTubers and look at their oldest videos. They can be like 10 years old. So they've been doing that for 10 years. You can't expect to be where they are now. That took them 10 years to build up. But believe me, you're going to suck. And that's okay. You're going to have 0 views for a very long time, and that's okay. Because in the beginning, you have a chance for that 1% improvement. So much more than when you have solidified into some sort of path. So right now, you're at the stage where you can mold the most. And that's great. That's a good thing. And that's still going to mean 0 likes, 0 views, 0 comments, 0 CTRs, no retention rate. But that's when you have the time to mold out the path that you want to take, not the one that someone tells you to take. It's really good to be prepared for all of that, sure, but just remain happy within here. Remember why you're doing it, why you want to start. Remember what's important right now, and do a little check-in in a year and see if your values have changed. Remember to just try your best to be happy with what you're doing, be happy with what you put out there. Try to improve a little bit at a time, and remember that slow growth beats fast, rapid growth when it comes to this. Okay? And if you like this video, you're going to like the next... Sorry, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But there might be a video that popped up on screen if you want to watch it. It's not gonna be anything like this one because I actually do gaming on this channel and not educational. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!